All right, today we're digging into an interesting find from the AI agent store, something called Qevlar AI.
Right.
Our mission today is basically to pull out the key insights, figure out what this thing actually does in the security world.
Yeah, Qevlar AI. It caught my eye, too, listed under virtual workers. So not just a tool, but positioned as, well, an autonomous SOC analyst.
A virtual worker. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Built for enterprise security teams and also for MSSPs, the managed security providers.
So if it's a virtual worker, what's its actual job description? Is it just like handling basic alerts?
It seems quite a bit more involved than that. Its core function is really about automating the entire process, end-to-end alert investigation and threat triage.
The whole thing.
That's the idea. And it doesn't just look at one data stream. It enriches signals from your SIEM, your EDR, cloud sources, pulls it all together for context.
Okay, context is key. Now, the source material mentioned a figure. Something like 89% autonomy. That sounds incredibly high.
It is high, yeah, 89%.
What does that mean in practice? Does it, replace a Tier 1 analyst?
Well, that high percentage suggests it handles the full investigation cycle autonomously. So enriching the alert, figuring out the context, actually running the investigation, and making that triage decision.
Without needing a human to sign off at each step.
Pretty much. The goal seems to be lifting that constant, high-volume triage work off the human team so they can focus on, more complex threat hunting or incident response.
Right, freeing up human analysts. So let's talk impact. What are the aha facts here? What difference does it make? First big one seems to be speed cutting, mean time to investigate, the MTTI, down to minutes.
Yeah, and that speed is critical in security, obviously. There are also some pretty bold claims floating around in community discussions, like 99.8% accuracy.
Oh, yeah, okay, 99.8%. That's extremely high. Any detail on how that's measured, especially against, the usual false positive rates.
That specific number seems to be reported as a community metric, so, take it with a grain of salt, perhaps.
Sure, always.
But it points to perceived reliability, right? What seems more concrete is the time saving. The documentation mentions taking investigations that typically take a human maybe 40 minutes and getting them done in just 3 minutes with Qevlar.
Okay, 40 minutes down to 3. That directly tackles the workload problem for busy SOCs, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's a massive efficiency gain, especially when you're dealing with thousands of alerts.
So how does it actually do the investigation? You mentioned formulating hypotheses. That sounds like reasoning.
It follows a structured workflow. So once the alert is enriched with context, it apparently forms hypotheses like, what could this alert mean? And then runs checks against the system data to verify or refute them.
And it documents this.
Critically, yes. It doesn't just decide. It documents its findings, the steps it took, and the conclusion, writing it all straight into the ticketing system automatically.
Yeah.
That covers the whole investigation and reporting part.
Gotcha. And deployment. Is it easy to integrate?
Seems flexible. Available as SaaS, standard cloud offering, or it can be deployed privately, which is important for some industries with stricter data residency rules.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So zooming out a bit, what Qevlar AI really represents is this shift, this move towards truly autonomous virtual workers in security operations.
Handling those critical but really repetitive tasks.
Exactly. It suggests the human role is potentially shifting away from that constant Tier 1 alert grind.
Okay, so that brings us to the final thought for you, the listener. If you have agents like this claiming high accuracy and incredible speed, how does that change the skills needed for human SOC analysts? What becomes more valuable for a person to focus on?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something to think about.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for tuning in today. And if you found this useful, please do take a second to rate the show. It really helps us out.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. And you can find details on the agents we discuss, including this one, over at aiagentstore.ai. We'll catch you next time.